So we're almost coming to the end of the fiscal year. In this video, we're going to talk about September 2021 Visa Bulletin predictions and beyond. This is based on a live update provided by the State Department, specifically by Charlie Oppenheim, the Chief of the Immigrant Visa Control Unit. So we'll break down all the updates and all the information that you need to know. We'll provide details regarding what to expect in terms of visa movement or retrogression, both in the family visa categories and the employment base as we move towards the end of the fiscal year, September 2021. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you can get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration updates, and everything else that you need to know to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. I help clients in all 50 states. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you've got my number right here, 619-483-4549. We are here to support you. In this video, we're going to provide the most up-to-date information for visa movement and or retrogression in the next coming months as we're moving towards the end of the year, September 2021. This is based on a live update provided by the Chief of the Visa Control Unit, Charlie Oppenheim. He is the one that is controlling the Visa Bulletin every single month, and he provided some very important insights that I'm going to be breaking down in this video. So make sure you stick to the end, because we're going to cover employment base, we're going to cover family base, we're going to cover the prospects of retrogression, and a lot of things that you need to know, because many of you are anxious, you're waiting for your interviews, and I think that information is crucial every single month. So let's jump right in. So we're going to cover some of the main questions that were presented at that live broadcast, specifically those questions that are important with respect to visa wait times, possible retrogression, and employment and family-based categories. So let's move on to the first question. I submitted all my documentation to the NVC a long time ago, and I confirmed on their website that everything is completed correctly. My priority date became eligible in March, but I have not yet been scheduled for my final visa interview. Why haven't I been scheduled despite the eligibility, and when can I expect to be scheduled? This is actually one of the most common questions that we also get on this YouTube channel, my emails directly to me, and also on our websites. This is a big concern that everybody's wondering. Despite being documentally qualified, no interviews are being scheduled. And Charlie Oppenheim explained that this is due to so many factors. One of the main factors is that embassies and consulates are still not operating regularly. Some of them are open and some of them are processing cases on an emergency basis only. And what Charlie mentioned in the live stream, he said that MVC continued to schedule interviews throughout COVID-19 pandemic, of course on a very limited basis. At the moment, they are warehousing close to 500,000 cases, as I mentioned in previous videos, and they really depend on the availability of embassies and consulates to open interview slots. As soon as they do, MVC is able to move those documentally qualified cases to schedule them for interviews. He also said that consulate posts, embassies worldwide provide their availability to the MVC about 30 to 60 days in advance. So for example, if they know that they're going to have slots open for September or October, they usually notify the MVC 2 months or 30 days in advance to let them know that they have the following amount of appointments available, so MVC will start scheduling those cases and move them to the embassy. He also said that other than age-out cases, inter-country adoption cases, and expedite requests based on various factors and the national interest exceptions, aside from these categories, NVC will schedule appointments in chronological order based on the date when the case was deemed documentary qualified. And you know when you documentary qualified because NVC will let you know as soon as they're done with your case and classified you as documentary qualified. So essentially, this is how they do it. If you're not part of those exceptions, as I mentioned before, your case will be scheduled in a chronological order depending on when you were documentary qualified. One thing that you want to do is you want to look at the MVC backlog report, which we can link in the description of this video, and we've done also a video discussing that backlog. In that report, you can see what cases they are working on right now, what is their backlog, and how many appointments they're issuing each and every month. Currently, what we know is that they're trying to catch up on cases that were scheduled as far as March of 2020. They're trying to clear that backlog and they're going backwards. And so hopefully, as embassies and consulates continue to reopen, continue to open more slots for interviews, we're hoping that you will also see an improvement into how they schedule these interviews, and you'll get yours as well. Another question that comes up often is the following. Do you expect the India EB3 final action date to reach January 1st, 2014, application filing date, which had been announced earlier this year? According to the State Department, the answer is yes. The India final action date for September is going to be January 1st, 2014. Do you have any information regarding the amount of unused fiscal year 2021 family and employment numbers that there may be? And for this answer, let's see what Charlie himself had to say.
These past YouTube events, I've mentioned that both State Department and USCIS are doing everything possible based on their respective processing capabilities in an effort to maximize number use in both the family and employment and diversity visa categories. I can tell you there's been a significant increase in the amount of family-sponsored number use at our overseas posts during the past 2 months, and therefore I have lowered my previous estimate of unused family numbers slightly, and now believe there'll be approximately 150,000 unused family numbers. On the employment side, the USCIS use of employment numbers continues to increase. It may not be at the levels many people would like, but it is increasing and they're doing their best. But I do believe there could be approximately 100,000 unused employment numbers. Again, the COVID-related issues, which have had a dramatic negative impact on the processing of fiscal 2021 cases, continues to make providing these estimates very difficult. But again, I can assure everyone that every effort is being made by State Department offices and USCIS offices to maximize number use under the respective annual 2021 annual limits.
As you can see, based on what Charlie's explained, the USCIS and the State Department are making every effort to maximize number use under the 2021 annual visa limits. So hopefully that will go as planned, and we'll be able to update you in the next month as well. Our next question is going to focus on the family visa numbers. And the question is the following. In the last session, you mentioned that almost all application filing dates of October 2020 Visa Bulletin have been reached by the final action dates in 2021. That is not true for family-sponsored categories. Can you explain why? And so while it's true that most application filing dates announced in October 2020 were reached, it's actually true mostly for the employment-based categories, as Charlie Oppenheim mentioned in his update. In the employment-based categories, all employment application filing dates have been reached or exceeded, and the retrogressed final action date for EB3 India will ultimately be reached as well in September 2021. This is not the case in the family-sponsored applications, and the reason is because 95% of family-based petitions are actually processed overseas. And the application filing dates, which were announced last year by the State Department, were based on the prediction that hopefully the embassies and consulates are going to be able to resume somehow normal operation procedures, which obviously didn't happen. And as a result, these conditions have prevented the State Department to reach the visa numbers in the family-based categories for that fiscal year. And of course, we'll continue to monitor the situation, and we'll see how the family categories are going to continue to progress as we come close to the end of the fiscal year 2021. And here's what it is. Many of the employment-based final action dates have been advancing at a rapid pace this year, and we're wondering if we can expect the dates to become current as happened in July of 2007. And if those of you that remember what happened in July of 2007, pretty much all employment-based categories, EB3, EB2 became current. A lot of people who were in the United States pending and waiting for many years were eligible to file adjustment of status. It was really hectic because everybody wanted to do it to make sure that they're going to get that opportunity. So the question is this going to happen again this year? Charlie said is that most likely it's not going to happen. And Charlie says no, because under the current demand, there's no need to make all these categories current. If they're not already current, there's going to be no push to make anything current beyond what is already available. because the demand is not there yet. So don't expect to see all employment categories to become current, including India or China. Whatever is current now will remain the same until the end of the fiscal year. This is specifically important for example category EB1, which was current for the past few months and will remain current throughout the end of the year. So hopefully you found this information helpful in this video. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and so you don't miss any of our videos or our live streams. And also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. And once again, if you need my help, give me a text 619-483-4549. We are here to support and help you as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.